Hey guys, inconsistent lighting here. Hey guys, terrible upload schedule here. Hey guys, king of clashing fashion choices here. Hey guys, undecided nickname here. Um, I was bored and or suffering from a kind of a manic episode. Is it manic if it's depressive? I don't know. Anyways, figured I should make something because it's not really a boredom as much as it is a call for help. So I figured I'd make a video and do something with my hands that looks like I'm vaguely gesturing to something. I don't know, they don't really know what they're doing. I figured right now, because I'm doing some cleaning, I would do a video on my big Soviet trunk. The big footlocker that I got down in Florida full of Soviet surplus that I have just been filling and filling and filling ever since I got the damn thing. Because I need to rearrange this and fit some more stuff into it, on top of lots of, if I'm missing hair since the last video, this is why. Or not, the helmet isn't why, but bzzz, ignore that. So I figured I'd start right from the top. One thing I actually ordered while I was down in Florida, this would be last year into December into February. One thing I had been looking for forever is a Soviet RD-54. Their paratrooper webbing vest belt setup. I'm not really sure what you'd actually classify an RD-54 as. I mean, some guys it's a chest rig. If you're, guys that's stuck in Afghanistan sewing the mag pouches together. Light backpack webbing. I don't know, kind of analogous to stuff like during World War One. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I have been wanting one of these for years, and it's pretty much necessary if you want to do anything related to Soviet Afghanistan, Soviet Cold War, Soviet paratroopers. Go figure. And I figured, if I can't find one for decently cheap on Facebook or whatever, as soon as one pops up as a private sale, I will snap it up. And I think I got this one for $110, which is pretty goddamn good as far as RD-54s go. It is in gorgeous shape, like really, really, really good condition, which is honestly surprising. Most of them are beat to hell, blown to pieces, tons of holes, worn. I think this one was made in '90, so it's a little bit late, but it's functionally and outwardly the exact same as the Soviet ones. So, little issue there as far as I'm concerned. I'm not that much of a purist. I mean, I am for the most part. I like to be authentic and as opposed to accurate. That way you can have a little bit of leeway with things, because anything and everything happens in combat. If you're trying to deny that, you're probably not living up to the goals you set out for yourself. It's unfortunate. Two things that I actually had up on my shelf, but I thought to include. Birthday gift from a special somebody. Not the same special somebody as last time. I would not sleep with the special somebody from last time that gave me the Soviet balaclava, which I have in the footlocker that you're sitting on top of. I mean, if he asked nicely, maybe, but nah. This one is a 1988 dated Ushanka. Has the officer's lapel, or cockade. Lapels go up on the shoulder. I'm tired. It's been a very, very long lifetime. Really, really comfortable. I love wearing this thing. Winter, fall, summer, middle of June. Well, I mean, middle of June. No better time, I suppose. Stosvutsya. My Pilotka, actually, this is one of the first ever Soviet items I ordered, and I got it off of Wish because I was 17 and didn't really know what I was doing, so I snatched it up, and it's been with me this whole time. And it's size 58, so it's a little small on my head, but it works. As long as I maintain a haircut, it fits me just fine. Another recent addition. I went to... There is a thrift store here in Minnesota called Another Man's Treasure. It is in, not Big Lake, it's just if you Google another man's treasure while you're in Minnesota, it'll pop up. But my dad, he had stopped in there a couple of weeks ago and was like, hey, they have a table full of bayonets that just came in, and I picked up a label bayonet that the guy had sitting around, and I was like, shit, I'll go check that out. So I immediately rushed down there like the next day, and I managed to pick up this very nice, I think it's a 1978 dated Chicom. The marking is, of course, in Chinese characters. I don't speak Chinese. I can read a little bit of Russian. I can read German. I barely read English, but Chinese is a little bit out of my purview, unfortunately. I got this a submarine escape hood, an American one that I tossed up on the bed or somewhere. That's not Soviet, but it's still pretty cool. As well as a few other things. This one I was very glad to grab because this means I can do like more accurate Soviet Afghan stuff. I mean, I have claimed, and I have the picture of a Type 2 lift chick in Afghanistan. I know I say it a lot, and I know nobody believes me, but I have the picture. I will find it at some point. I can't find it right now. Anyways, moving on. It's a big claim to make, unfortunately. One thing that I actually had a fairly difficult time putting together over the last few years was a set of RPS webbing, or RPS 30, just RPS webbing, that would actually fit me because I am gigantic, which, go figure. Have it set up for a bit more not accurate at all. Canteen, mag pouch, holster, and grenade pouch, sort of an officer thing. The problem was that normally the back strap on the RPS 30 webbing, even on the largest size that you can find, I think it's only 2 sizes, I think. I've never seen a size 3 set of RPS suspenders, so I'm doubtful if they exist. I originally got 2 of these because I bought one for my brother when we first started doing airsoft, like 8 years ago. And unfortunately, it didn't fit me at all because the belt would sit like right on my sternum. It sucked, and I basically tossed them into storage. Didn't really think about them because I was doing U.S. stuff for the last 6 years, and within the last 2 years, since I've started doing Soviet stuff again, you know who you are. Thank you for making me spend so much goddamn money. Holy shit. I figured I would need to get my RPS webbing again and actually set it up correctly. And I once again ran into the problem of this thing doesn't goddamn fit me. It just sits right here. Because the back strap, that usually it's adjustable, but not a whole lot. You really don't have that much play in the back belt attachment. So what I found that you can do is there is a single loop right up here, right at the very top between the top of the adjustment and the top of the actual strap in the back. That's a phrase. If you cut that, it allows you to slide the entire thing down another 7 or 8 inches, and somehow it actually made it so it fits on my waist, which, thank God. If you adjust the front 2 all the way down, and then I adjusted this as far down as I possibly could, this is as far as it will go, it actually fits pretty goddamn well on me. I'm happy with it. I have an MPL 50 in here. I don't have the carrier yet, and I still need to get a 6X4 or 6H4 bayonet, but otherwise this is pretty well done, and I'm very happy with it. And yes, I do have the actual peacetime buckle on there. I bought a lot. I have quite a few Soviet belts sitting around. I think half of the ones I have are peacetime, half of them are wartime, the subdued, painted, enameled ones. And because I primarily do Afghan stuff, I stuck with the peacetime buckle since the wartime belts were never actually issued during Afghanistan because the Soviet Union did not consider the Afghan war a war. Same as they don't do for Ukraine or Chechnya or anything else. Apparently only if you're fighting the US is it considered a war. Go figure. Or Germany. These are not Soviet. Matter of fact, these are not surplus at all. These are those Snoop Dogg pattern pants. I don't remember getting these, and they just kind of showed up in here one day, but they're in a pretty decent pattern, and they're really comfortable. Matter of fact, I might have to start wearing those again. Actually, here's a fun one. Big ass Russian, I think 90-liter mountain ruck. This was actually the first backpack I ever ordered that was Soviet, and it's beat to hell. One of the fun things down here is the loop that sat on the bottom of the ruck that connected one of the shoulder straps to the bottom. Apparently it tore at some point in the past, and whoever fixed it with a strip of like a Walmart plastic bag. It's really funny. I mean, look at that. It's literally just a chunk of a fucking shopping bag. If it works, I suppose. I mean, it hasn't broken or anything. This bag really needs some love, and I need to get around to that at some point, considering it's actually kind of a nice ruck. I mean, it sits really low on your back, and it's old fucking tarpaulin, but you know, whatever. I mean, you're not going to get perfection out of Soviet equipment basically ever, so I'll take what I can get. But overall, yeah, I really do like this, and unfortunately, this ruck actually went missing for about a year and a half on me. At some point, I want to say somebody in my family raided my room and just took random things off of my shelves, shoved them into a black trash bag, and tossed it down in the basement. I had no idea. Because I maintain the point that no matter what, I know everything that I own is in my room pretty much at all times. Everything. It stays in here. I don't leave it out. I don't leave it out in other rooms. I don't take it places and lose it. It stays in my room. When this went missing, along with my Soviet snowsuit, a couple of old stuffed animals from my childhood, a whole bunch of other stuff, when those went missing, I was pissed. I couldn't, especially the snowsuit, because I knew the snowsuit, I had stored it inside this ruck, and it's currently sitting in here, I think, actually. It's either in here or underneath my bed. I can't remember. It's in my room. I know that much. I couldn't find it for like a year and a half until I was out in my kitchen. This was like October of November of last year. I'm standing in my kitchen, and there's just a black trash bag that my grandpa had brought up from the basement, and I think I was getting a glass of water, and my foot brushes against this bag, and here, I'll show you exactly what I heard. I heard that sound. That is Tickle Me Big Bird. I got this when I was 2 years old, maybe 3, from one of my mom's friends, and my foot brushed against it, and I hear it laughing, and I'm like, wait a minute. That's one of the things I'm missing. What the fuck? He's supposed to be up on my headboard. Well, I go and start digging in this bag, and it's everything I'm missing. Whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of my surplus, some of my blankets, a bunch of my shirts. I don't know where the hell all this had went, which it really fucking bothered me. Especially missing the snowsuit, Big Bird, important items. He vibrates for children's pleasure. I don't get it. I don't know why they make kids' toys vibrate. It bothers me. Anyways, yeah. Having this back now, I'm very happy. My second Soviet ruck is a very, 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 very basic Vesmashok. I'm still working out how to pronounce that. It took me a good 15-20 minutes to figure out how to tie this the first time I got it. And now that I've used it a couple of times, it's, for being a cheap, mass-produced, just kind of basic backpack, sort of flower bag looking thing, it's actually a pretty goddamn effective backpack. I mean, I like this. I love my Alice ruck, but this is just a good idea. One of my two Picoles. Got both of these at an airsoft trade show a couple of years ago. Let's see. What else do I have? These are my, depending on what glove liners are in these. There are no glove liners in these. These are either the OZK glove. Yeah, these are the gloves for my OZK suit, the Soviet chemical suit, which is in here. I will get to that. Let's see. My double buckle M88. I call them jump boots because pretty much all the American boots I've ever been styled to that have buckles, I just kind of consider jump boots because it's cool. Got these from my grandparents a few years ago. A little bit tight, but I really like them. Unfortunately, the buckles are Soviet and they kind of suck. That other RPS webbing strap, and as you can see, with all the layers of webbing in this, it's kind of a terrible design. Like I would much rather use like West German webbing. I'd rather use Alice. I'd rather use anything except for these suspenders. However, you make the cut somewhere in here and all of a sudden they work great. So lucky me. I might have to do that to these. Some Czech suspenders that I picked up a few years ago at X-Men Surplus. These, I picked up like 2 pairs of them because they were like $3 each and I had no idea what they were. So, you know, grab these. They've been cool. I will use them for something at some point, but not exactly sure when. 2 Romanian canteens. I had these on my Soviet webbing for a little while because I couldn't find Soviet canteens for cheap, which hurt. Just basic Soviet 3-cell AK mag pouch, as you can see. 1, 2, 3. These used to be dime a dozen. I mean, you can still get them relatively cheap. They're nice. I mean, you still see a ton of these things in use in Ukraine as basically bandoliers. I've seen missile troops. I have seen tankers. I've seen a T-72 with these kind of strapped onto like a grab bar on the outside, just as ammo, outside ammo for like an AK that might be needed for borders or whatever. Let's see, what else? Have my terrible mess of fabric. My first lift chick. This one is actually my repro one. However, I have the original grenade belt on it. I put the original on this one because the grenade belt doesn't fit me, and I was planning on selling this one off, which is probably what I'll do. Speaking of grenade belts, my GP25, I got this for my aunt's Christmas for last, something like that. I'm a really big fan of the GP25. I think they look cool. I think they're really functional, even though I've never used one. Something about a breech loading underbarrel grenade launcher is, or not breech loading. Well, muzzle loading. A muzzle loading grenade launcher is cool. Just bloop. Ignore these. Ignore those. Another Soviet grenade pouch for holding 2, I would assume, RGD-5s, F1s, whatever grenade that they happen to be using at the time. The Soviets have a lot of different grenades. Lucky them. I don't have any grenades. Except for, I don't know where my pineapple grenade went. I know where my pineapple grenade went. This is the only grenade I have. Let's see. My real lift chick. This one was made in '88. Right? Yep. Yeah, '88. So this one is actually the same date as my Ushanka over there. And this one I do have the Repro grenade belt on. I mean, I have both. If I just swap the grenade belts, they're completely, this one would be completely original. However, the grenade belt on that one doesn't fit me, so, you know, I stick with the one that fits. And besides, I actually kind of like the miscoloration of it. I think it works pretty well, considering Soviet stuff is always kind of mismatched, especially later on. Well, Russian stuff, Russian Federation. Yeah, into the 90s, there was very, very little in the way of standardization, so you saw a lot of old Soviet shit being mixed with VSR 93 and all that. As promised, my MPL 50. This was actually my dad's. He wasn't issued this because he's not Russian or Soviet or anything. He doesn't really have any kind of Eastern European in him, as far as I know, except for Polish. But he bought this off of eBay a couple of years ago, and while we were down in Florida, he was like, "Hey, you want this? I'm not going to use it." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I've been needing an MPL because it's just a dope shovel." And this one was made in '85, so right on time for all the stuff that I do. All right, we're gonna start this off the top. We're gonna save this one for last time. I love everything in here. My third Soviet vest, I want to say, it's third or second. These very ubiquitous 6B5. This one is a size 2 6B5-15. I don't have any plates in this one. It does have the panels, it does have the hangers for the plates. However, I don't have any plates for it yet, which is unfortunate because I love this thing. Also, if this thing looks to be like really wrongly colored, like it's like giving off a hint of olive, that's because this is an olive, like just a green 6B515. However, it is sun faded all to hell. There is, yeah, if you look on the inside, green, on the outside, tannish yellow. This thing has, it's had a life, to say the least. I think the only problem I have with this one is getting the boron carbide plates is going to be a pain in the ass because they're expensive individually, and I gotta buy a whole bunch of them. And getting my head into this fucking slot is like being birthed. It sucks. I mean, I thought putting that the escape mask thing in one of my last videos sucked. This cheese grates off your face a little bit. It's a pain. A bit more apt for Afghanistan now. The 6B2, as made famous by Afghanistan. Go figure. This one I actually got off of a guy on Facebook, and I have 3 of the 6B series of Soviet production. I have, obviously, the 6B5, I have the 6B2, I have the next one you're going to see, but the guy that sold me this one, I met him on Facebook, and he offered this one to me. I bought it, and he also had a 6B4 size 2 on his web shop or whatever, and immediately as soon as I saw that, I was like, I'm gonna buy that right now. I sent him a message about it. I had payment ready on hand. I was ready to go, and all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, I lost it somewhere in my warehouse." I'm like, "Okay, take all the time you need, find it, shoot me shipping and whatever, and I will pay for it. I'll buy it right now." A couple of days goes by, nothing happens. Week and a half, 2 weeks goes by, and I message him again. I'm like, hey, what's going on with the 6B4? Where am I still able to buy that? And he's like, "Oh, I sold it off to my brother." I'm like, dude, I think he sold it to him for like $150. I was willing to pay like $250 for it, $250, $300, because it's a fucking 6B4. They're not exactly the most common things. I mean, if I remember correctly, they're even rarer than 6B1s for the most part. And this one, it had front and back panels. It had all the hangers and everything, and I think it had a couple of plates in it, which would have been amazing to have. I would have had 4 of them. And I damn near had a 6B1 from another guy on Facebook with all the plates. The guy wanted like $500 for it, $450, something like that, and I was Johnny on the spot to buy the damn thing, and he backed out. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I was pissed. I was really pissed. Losing out on a 6B1 that had full plates and a 6v4 that was pretty much complete, like, minus all the plates, the boron carbon plates in it. I think I got snubbed. Anyways, back to the 6v2. Yeah, I bought this one from a guy in Spain, which I think this was actually the first thing I've ever bought from Spain, which is kind of cool. It doesn't have any plates in it, as goes for pretty much all 6v2s. As far as I know, pretty much every 6v2 that you can find nowadays is missing all of the titanium plates because they got taken out to put in the rear portion of 6v3s because they use a 1.5 millimeter titanium plate. Yeah, I think it's 1.5. And pretty much all of them lost their plates and then were sewn back up. This one is stitched right down on a seam right here, which bothers me. I would have loved to have a 6v2 with plates, but I mean, I bought this knowing that, you know, I accepted my fate pretty early on. So yeah, I really love the 6v2, and it's just, as far as vets go, it's just kind of a vibe. It's very simple. It looks like a product of its age, you know, like a Soviet equivalent to the M69 or the M1952 or the M55. So yeah, I really love this thing. Last thing in the box before I get to the big M85 Czech rug. This is cool. The first Soviet vest I ever bought. The 6B3. I bought this on eBay for way too much. For way too much. I bought this for $800. This was one of the first Soviet items I bought because I really wanted one, which is probably why I paid so much. And I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Word of warning for anybody getting into surplus or anything, there are going to be items that you really want. They're going to be grail items. I have a couple of them. This was one of them. I love the 6B3. But for the love of God, ask somebody about proper pricing, what things are on and are not on it, if it's complete, dates, whatever. Obviously, make sure it's not a fake. You know, repros are out there. There's some really good ones that, like, border on almost more valuable than the original thing because, like, you can actually, like, use and abuse them. It's a 6B3. I can wear this all day long. I could go dive through the dirt. It's not going to hurt its value too much. I mean, obviously, it's not, as long as I'm not destroying the damn thing. I wouldn't have a problem. But yeah, if you're getting into surplus, just try to talk to your friends that are already into it. Talk to people in collecting servers, you know, Discord, Facebook. Just, you know, reach out to people and make sure you're not getting ripped off, because this thing, realistically, I should have paid $150-200 for it. However, it has all the plates, every single one up front, which are 4.5 millimeter titanium plates, and the rear plates, which are actually 1.5 millimeters, because it's supposed to be, they're triple the thickness. The front plates are triple the thickness of the rear ones, I believe. There's something else in there. It's cheese, because stalker. I'm a nerd. But yeah, I've definitely had the inkling that I got kind of ripped off on this one. I bought from a less than reputable seller on eBay. He ships, he sells original things, he's honest about these, he just upcharges the absolute hell out of them, which sucks, but I was new, so I fell for it, whatever. Besides, I didn't have anything I really needed at the time, so, you know, no huge loss. It's money that could have gone into other things, but I'm not bitter about it. However, if I had just bought the vest at the time, this was right after the invasion of Ukraine started, the vests themselves were already getting exceedingly expensive because Soviet surplus was starting to, you know, dry up because of the rush to buy it all before it disappears. before it inevitably gets reissued to somebody. I don't think you're ever going to have that here in the U.S. America will never invade somebody and then immediately everybody starts buying Alice and Pasget because, oh God, what if they start issuing Alice webbing to people? Buy all the LC1 you can. That's never going to happen. We actually know how to equip our guys. Believe it or not, it's crazy to think. I know. It's not like you're still seeing Russians getting issued fucking Soviet era bullshit. Like steel pots and lifchicks and whatever. However, getting back to the point, the vest was already going to be expensive. However, the fact that it came with all the plates, each plate by itself goes for, typically you can get them for $15 to $40, and being that there's 14 in the front, 14 in the back, that adds to, let's just say 30. Let's just say $30 a plate times, what was that? Let's just say 30 plates. That would add up to like, what, $600 in plates, something like that. I don't do math. Anyways, it kind of paid itself off having all the plates, especially the front ones. So, especially, it's a really nice condition one for what it is, and it fits me. It's a size 2. Let's see. The date on it is. Oh yeah, it's also a 6B3TM01, which is the most common model of them. I would instruct you to go find other people who review the 6B3 in its entirety, just as it is. I'm just showing off things that I have. This isn't educational anyway. If you take anything away from this, good job. Proud of you. You get 2 big thumbs up from me. I'm glad to be of service. However, go learn from other people a lot more educated on the matter. There's a number that says 96, although I highly doubt that this was made in 1996. One of these does say 85. I'm more liable to believe that one. So, this is, as of this year, 40 years old, which is actually pretty dope. I still think the Soviets were well ahead of us in terms of body armor technology, and we were well ahead of them in helmets, and individual night vision, and webbing, and mostly in individual weapons, and boots, camouflage. The Cold War isn't so black and white. The US, yeah, we had a lot of good shit, but we weren't that good. Remember, you're not immune to propaganda. No matter how much you may agree with it, it doesn't change the fact that it's propaganda. I'm dehydrated and dying. Last bit, I promise. Almost done. I bought this from X-Man about 2 or 3 years ago. It is a Czechoslovakian, yes, I said Czechoslovakian, not Czech, or Slovakian, M85 rucksack. It's missing the shoulder straps, which really pisses me off because this is an amazing ruck. If you can buy one, it's huge, they're waterproof, they're really easy to use, they're dirt cheap, because who cares about Czechoslovakian stuff except for me. Yeah, this is what I keep most of my Soviet suits and stuff in. Not like uniforms and stuff, but like camouflage over suits and chemical, whatever. So, starting from the top is the Donor KZS camouflage that I need to use to expand my actual set of KZS. If you hear anybody calling this camo here, if you hear anybody calling this camo Berezka, they're right. If you hear them calling it KLMK, I want you to stab them in the throat with a ballpoint pen. This is KZS. This is KLMK. They are both Berezka. Berezka is the pattern. Only this suit, right here, the single piece paratrooper suit. It was mostly used by paratroopers, but it was used by a lot of people. Only this, in Berezka white, is the KLMK. Commando store, eat your fucking heart out. Stop calling that Gorka KLMK. I'm that guy in your comments that comments on everything, because I'm a know-it-all and I like rubbing it in. I bought this. It is a size 3. I got it last year, I want to say. I'd been hunting down one of these down for a long time, and even size 3 doesn't fit. First off, it has an ass flap, because that is hilarious, just in case, you gotta go. Problem is, the ass flap makes it so it's really tight in the back, so sometimes when I bend over while I'm wearing it, the whole thing just pops open, which obviously is less than ideal. The sleeves are about yay too short. They just end at my forearm, and the legs are way too short. They end damn near halfway up my calf, which is not ideal. Overall, it's a size 3, so it fits me mostly just fine, and I do have another one in here that I'm going to use as donor material to expand this one, because the KLMK suit is fucking iconic. I mean, it's about as iconic as the 6B3, the SSH 68 and 60, the lift chick. I mean, it's a vibe. And especially in Berezka white, Jesus Christ, I mean, just look at it. It's hot. It is so unfathomably hot. It's like Afghanistan hot. Oh yeah, and Berezka gold. Berezka meaning birch in Russian. I have no idea what this is. This was just a random scrap of material that came in a pocket of something. I don't remember, and I don't know what it's from. However, it is that it doesn't come out well on camera, but it is that really kind of like, it's just that Soviet teal color, and I've kind of kept it just because of that, because I really like that color. Soviet cockpits, Soviet kitchen appliances, whatever. This color saw a lot of use, mostly because it makes you happy. Maybe there's a bit of propaganda in that too, but yeah, I like this. Might use it as a washcloth or something, or whatever. Let's see. Start on the pockets. That donor suit. As you can see, this one. Let me find a flat area. This one has seen a hell of a lot less use than this one. This one is practically brand new. This one has seen some shit, which is unfortunate. Or fortunate, I don't know. My rolled up, like the main KZS suit that I intend to actually use. I love Berezka. It's one of my favorite patterns, and finding this in size 3 was a pain in the ass. The pants don't fit. The top does. The top is like drastically oversized. I could fit like 2 of me in it, which is saying something. The pants, size 3, still don't fit. I don't get it. I could probably just leave that out. This bastard. I'm not going to take it out, because putting it back in it's an ordeal. This is a Polish L1. I get these two mixed up. This is a Polish L1 chemical suit. This was actually my first combloc chemical suit, and it's a single piece oversuit, and it sucks. The first time I wore this, like 2 years ago, I literally had about an inch of sweat down in the bottom of both boots. It was terrible, and I love this suit. It looks great. What can I say? I like suffering for my gear. And the important one, the pill. This is actually my Soviet OZK suit, all folded up. Specifically, this is the OP1 oversuit. I'm not going to take it out because folding these up it's a pain in the ass. Just getting it down to this is kind of it's a task. Not as much as when I first got the thing. I thought you're supposed to fold the boot covers up inside with that. Nope, that does not work. The boots actually have their own carrier or carriers. I think you're supposed to have two of them hanging on your back, and then your oversuit just hanging right in the middle. Here's one. This is actually the hood or the chemical hood that is supposed to go over a PMG-1 gas mask and around your head. However, makes you just kind of look like a peasant. It's really late. I'm running out of jokes and I'm running out of factual shit. I am sorry. I'm sorry that you sat through this. I don't know why you would choose to listen to me. What are you getting out of this? And lastly, the overboots for the OZK suit. These have actually probably seen more use as just wet weather mud boots than I ever saw for chemical and radiological incidents. Frankly, I actually really like using these. They got quite a bit of traction because they're really knurled on the bottom. You can fit pretty much any size of boots inside. They're that really nice teal because if you're going to be dying on a chemical battlefield, you might as well be happy while you're doing it. And if you need to be happy, teal is the color apparently. I mean, even the straps on the damn thing are teal. Even the cords on this are teal. Yeah. And that is everything in the box. This was just kind of an impromptu thing. I didn't really have a whole lot going on tonight, and this is keeping me busier than feeling sad for myself. So I thank anybody who's still here for this. Thanks for listening. I have been Avis Prime. I have been Molnia, Molnia. I have been cause for concern, and I am saying have a good night. Thank you for listening, for what it's worth.